Okay, fine. I hope so. My voice is audible and you are able to see my screen. Can somebody just confirm me again, once again, so that I could
Ye-
start?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, fine. Well, guys, okay. Very good afternoon, all. I welcome you to this, the very first class of machine learning. So today's agenda will be like I'll not be starting with the syllabus point of view. We'll be discussing in detail, or will be giving you an bird's eye view of what is machine learning is, and what are all the requirements, and what we have planned to carry out the course content. Okay, so this is the agenda of today's meeting, and it's very important meeting. Like it will be discussing end to end what is the details which are involved over there, what is the process which is involved over there. So these type of stuffs will be discussing in today's class. Okay, so by the end of the class you'll be having some knowledge, basic knowledge of what is machine learning, what is the process which is involved in a machine learning project, what are all the prerequisites that you require to carry out the machine learning course. So this is today's agenda. Okay, welcome to machine learning. Okay, so the very first thing is the first question which quenches our mind is what if we do not have machine learning? Okay, we'll consider a scenario where we don't have machine learning and we have machine learning. So before that, we'll go with the generalized idea. What is machine learning? Okay, the definition aspects of view. Okay, see, the emergence of machine learning was first came up with Mr. Arthur Samuel in 1957. So those were the days where they started to train the computers, from which they started gathering the data, giving the data as an input, and they made, and they were successful to able to think, make the computer to think as humans. Okay, so this is what this is the first time in 1957 the word called machine learning came into existence. Okay, so as we could see, there are a number of general definitions over there. We'll go with the Wikipedia first. Okay, I'll just type machine learning. Okay, so this is what the Wikipedia tells, that it is the study of computer algorithms to improve automatically through experience. We'll see what is the algorithms, what do you mean by experience and all. As a whole, if you want to generalize with the statement, machine learning is you are making the computer to think. That is what the meaning is. Okay, so next, my it's a tribute that we must give to the father of AI. It is Geoffrey Hinton. Since it is a subset of our machine learning is a subset of AI. He is the godfather of AI. That is Geoffrey Hinton. Okay, the man who gave the machines, and he made actually the machines to think like humans. So what is machine learning in a nutshell? Okay, so as a whole, when we tell machine learning, how it is actually related to other stuffs is my next question. This is an important thing which you must consider. Many of you people have gone through machine learning courses, or you might have interacted with few of the algorithms. You have actually probably worked on few algorithms in machine learning, and you probably might have completed few projects on machine learning. But as a prerequisite to be a beginner, few of the students, and I'm not telling like few of you, most of the students will be having question like what is the difference between machine learning, artificial intelligence, deep learning, and data science? Okay, so this is the general questions which many people has. So this picture gives you a clarity of what is the difference between AI, ML, DL, and DS. So as you can see here, first is we have uh, the artificial intelligence as a whole. This is my first circle. I just changed my font. Okay. Okay, so my artificial intelligence is the final outcome which you could tell. This is my final outcome. So you tell that when the whole system is ready, you build an AI system, okay, or an AI program or an AI application. This is what your ultimate aim or the final outcome. So machine learning, what we can tell, it enables the machine to think. This is the general definition of artificial intelligence. It enables the machine to think. The machine to think. I hope so. My voice is audible. Just confirm me once again. Yes.
Yes, sir, audible.
Okay, fine. So my artificial intelligence enables the machine to think. Next, so what do you mean by ML? See, ML is machine learning is a subset of AI which comes with some statistical tools. Okay, statistical tools which explore the data. So my main intention is to build an AI system. To build the AI system, we define some data. Okay, we require some data. So to manipulate with that particular data, we have the concept of machine learning. So how can we generalize with the statement? So machine learning is the statistical tools to explain and explore the data and explore the data. We have the data in our hands. How do we manipulate with that? By applying several methods, algorithms, tools, such that we want to attain the final outcome, that is an AI based application or AI based tool. So in machine learning, so we have these few things called as, we have like okay. So in ML, we have something called supervised learning, supervised machine learning. Second is unsupervised machine learning. Third is reinforcement, or we call it as semi-supervised learning. Semi-supervised learning. Okay, so semi-supervised machine learning. See, we need to know what is supervised machine learning. Today, as since it is an induction type of class, I'll be not going in detail about all the topics here. We'll be going through a cakewalk of all the concepts here. So what do you mean by supervised machine learning? See, in supervised machine learning, we'll be having pre-stored data for which it acts as an input, so that taking the pre-stored data as an input, I'll start building my algorithm. So that is I'll come up with some super cool decisions which we call it as supervised machine learning. There is some past data which is available there. For example, we'll consider one example. Let us say let us say I have height, okay, height and weight of the person. Okay, I have these two attributes. One is your height and another one is your weight. So by using, let us say height is about 6 feet, weight is about 70 kg, kilos or anything. By using these as my data, I predict whether a person is obese or fit. Okay, please do bear with my handwriting and also my spelling mistakes if I have. So I shall decide by, there is already a set of data which is already available, that is height and weight. Having height and weight, I'll decide what category of the person he is, category of the person he is, whether he belongs to an obese category or he belongs to a fit category. I hope so you are understanding. Are you able to understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is about your supervised machine learning. So in next we have unsupervised machine learning. See, in unsupervised machine learning, we don't have any past label data. We come up with a concept somewhat like, we call it as clustering type of problem. Okay, clustering type of problem, clustering techniques. Okay, so what do you mean by clustering techniques? See, there are a bunch of data. Let us say I have a bunch of data here. Okay, so those, I'll start segregating these particular data into some of the groups. Okay, this is one group, this is one group, this is one group, let us say. So this group is my group 1, this is group 2, this is group 3. Okay, I have a set of data. That particular data divided into 3 groups, which I call it as groups or clusters. Okay, so I make use of those clusters and I'll try to build my model. So this kind of data where there is no predefined set of data, we call it as unsupervised machine learning. Okay, I hope so you understood what is supervised machine learning and unsupervised machine learning. A best example which we can consider is my Euclidean distance. Okay, I'll be going with what is a Euclidean distance algorithm does. Okay, when I start with the concept of the unsupervised machine learning. The next point we have there is my reinforcement learning. Okay, so we also called reinforcement learning or semi supervised, where we have both past data and present data. Past data and present data. See, we have both the types of data. Few data are labeled and few data we need to find out. Let us say I have an example so that I have 2 attributes as height and weight. Okay, height and weight, he has given you some value. Height is about 5 feet. Okay, weight is about 60 kilo. I want to define what is the color of hair. Okay, let us say color of hair. Okay, this is not given. Then I need to find out what is the category. He belongs to an obese category or fit category. So here I have past data, that is my height and weight are there. Color of hair is not present, which I need to calculate this, after which I will decide which category he or she might belong to, whether an obese category or a fit category. So this is a brief. So we have supervised machine learning where we have past data as an input, unsupervised machine learning in which there is no past or labeled data. Next, we have reinforcement learning where we have few past data and some of the data which will be calculated during the runtime of the algorithm. So this is all about machine learning as a whole one, just what you can tell. Okay, so now I just want to, next we have the concept of the concept of deep learning came into existence. So people started thinking like we can definitely make the systems to think as humans, where for humans we have nervous systems. In the same way, they started creating a nervous system to the computer system called as neurons. So neurons are basically like we create the nervous system like in the computer, where the concept of deep learning came into existence. We have the concept of the main architecture behind your deep learning is multi-neural architecture. Okay, we have multi-neural network architecture. So multi-neural network architecture is the basis of architecture for whole deep learning. So under which the deep learning is, again we have few networks or architectures like I could remember it as let us say okay, we have something called as ANN, that is artificial neural networks. We have something called as CNN, that is convolutional neural network, and we have something called as RNN, that is recurrent neural network. So these three acts as a basis for your deep learning. So one is artificial neural network. These artificial neural network always deals with, okay, just my artificial neural network always deals with the numbers. When the data are in the form of numbers, it is in the form of numbers, I can say. When the data is in the form of images, okay, images, we make use of convolutional neural network. Next, I have some set of data, we call it as time series data. Okay, so these are depending on the type of data. If my data is numbers, I go with ANN, that is artificial neural networks. If my data is in the form of images, I go with convolutional neural network. If my data is in the form of time series, okay, we go for recurrent neural network. So this is what the type of data these architectures take. Okay, there is a concept called transfer learning, okay, which we'll be studying later. Transfer learning, okay, within deep learning. Okay, so we'll be studying, this is the whole just what we can say, and studying all those things we call it as a data science. Okay, so studying deep learning, machine learning, artificial intelligence as a whole, I can tell it as your data science. So what do you mean by data science? I can define data science as data science involves few things like statistics. Second, it will be involving some probability. Next, it will be involving some linear algebra. Okay, So this as a whole, I can tell. See, going in depth, I just gave you a brief overview of the whole thing. What is the relation between AI, ML, DL, and DS? That is artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, and data science. So studying all these things together, we call it as data science, since the whole process is completely depending upon your data. Whatever the data, we process the data and we convert it into whatever form which we require. Okay, so I just pause here. If you have any doubt, please unmute yourself and you can ask. Is there any doubts till here?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Are you people, are you all able to understand? Can we go further?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine, fine. So next, okay, so we have a CEO of Alphabet here stating that artificial intelligence is one of the most important things humans is working on. It is more profound than electricity or fire. He is stating that in the coming days, what is the impact that the AI is having. So these are all the giants on the shoulders on which we peoples are standing. We need to pay a very great tribute to those peoples from which we are able to access, and we are coming with some super cool projects and whatever the stuffs which these kind of people are giving for the community. Okay, so fine. This is a bird's view of machine learning. Okay, as we had discussed over there, you can see we have. Okay, so we have supervised learning, unsupervised learning, semi-supervised learning, and reinforcement learning. So each and every, if I go on telling you in exactly, since it is an introduction class, I'll be not going in depth about each and everything so here. So supervised learning as having several algorithms, likewise unsupervised, semi-supervised, and reinforcement learning. Okay, so in supervised we have a concept called regression and classification. So supervised learning deals with these types of problems, regression and classification. Please don't worry, in the coming classes we'll be going step by step what is regression, what is classification, and so on, and I'll be telling you how your syllabus has been organized in such a manner, because whatever the industry requires and whatever the syllabus which has been framed is not in the same manner, so we shall discuss accordingly, we'll go accordingly. So in unsupervised we go with clustering type of problem and association, and in semi supervised we have classification and clustering, and again here we have classification and controlling type of problems. Okay, so this is again what are all the types that we have. I had just inserted in my presentation. Okay, this is a whole the next picture which I'm going to show you probably makes your mind dirt while looking at the picture, might get tensed, but it's the whole juice of machine learning or the mind map which I can say here. Okay, this is whole. Okay, this is as a whole which I can tell this is what machine learning is. So the maths part or the various architectures which are involved over there, okay, the yellow ones which are present over there are the main thing that is directly associated with it, and which internally it has all the few things. Okay, we'll go step by step, no need to worry, please don't panic. We can definitely go with step by step. Okay, no need to worry. See, what are all the popular algorithms which is involved in machine learning? Okay, so this is one of the important thing before we start knowing the subject. See, there are popular algorithms like classification, regression, clustering, and deep learning. This is the main algorithm. Whatever which you are seeing on the screen are the main algorithms which is involved in machine learning. So that is classification. In classification, I have mainly, there are n number of algorithms, but main algorithms I have my KNN or K nearest neighbor. We have SVM, support vector machine, naive Bayes, decision trees, random forest. So these algorithms are based on classification. So I'll be telling what is classification is and we'll be going step by step. Again, in regression, we have linear regression, multivariate regression, logistic regression, okay? And in clustering, we have again KNN, K means clustering, hierarchical clustering, okay? SOM. In deep learning, we have RNN, CNN. As of now, autoencoders will not be much studying about this. We'll be studying RNN and CNN in detail. Okay. I hope so. You don't misunderstand with this particular slide. So this is a newbie programmers. Any programmers who directly start jumping into the field of AI or ML without having any prerequisites. Okay, so I don't tell that these things are mandatory, but if you have a strong basic knowledge on algorithms or data structures, oops, okay, it would be definitely a cakewalk for you people to go with AI and ML. Okay, so before I go for machine learning applications, okay, uh, I would like to give you an brief step-by-step plan that will be going through. Okay, so first is what is my step-by-step plan? Okay, I'll just change the color. Step-by-step plan for data science or machine learning. Okay, so this is what the step-by-step plan. Before we start, uh, I just we shall take a 2 or 3 minutes break. You can just unmute yourself and you can share whatever the things which you can share with respect to any doubts or anything. We can clarify it here. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. There are around 23. Okay. Fine. Some of you might have done few courses or anything. Anybody who has completed some basic course in machine learning can just unmute yourself, speak to me. Shubha is here. Brunda. Chandana? Are you guys able to hear my voice? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Many of you are not here, just logged in and you have went out. Vinod is here.
Yes, sir.
Okay. ನಿದ್ದೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ? ನಿದ್ದೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ?
ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್.
No, sir.
Okay. Chandana, Harshita, you are here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Chandana, you have gone through some basic machine learning course and all. What is the, like, if you consider a small machine learning project, what is the steps which is involved over there to go with the project?
Data pre-processing
Okay.
and fixing the data, like errors ಇದ್ರೆ ಡೇಟಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಅದನ್ನ
So
ಸರಿ
first step
ಮಾಡೋದು.
is data pre-processing. Okay. Next ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ?
Importing the data set.
Importing the data sets. Okay.
ಮಿಸ್ಸಿಂಗ್ ಡೇಟಾ ಇದ್ರೆ, ಡೇಟಾ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಸರಿ ಮಾಡೋದು.
Okay. Next.
Data selection and transformation.
Data selection and transformation. Okay.
And then ನಾವು ಓದಿದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ they'll split the data. I mean training set ಮತ್ತೆ test set ಅಂತ.
Okay, splitting the data.
Feature scaling. Regression.
Okay. Anything else?
ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಸರ್. ರಿಗ್ರೆಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ we have types, so ಅದ್ರ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ.
Okay. Yashas, would you like to add anything?
Nothing, sir.
Nothing.
Just finding the right data set, sir.
Finding the right data set. Okay.
And also finding the right algorithm.
Pranav? Satvik?
That's it, sir.
Satvik ilva?
Yes, sir.
Okay. ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಸಾತ್ವಿಕ್ ML ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ? ಇನ್ನೇನಾದ್ರೂ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ?
ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಸರ್, ರೈಟ್ ಆಲ್ಗಾರಿಥಮ್ ಯಾವ್ದು ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ.
Okay, okay. Fine. Okay, thank you. So like I myself has framed a few steps for a complete machine learning projects which I can tell. So very first thing that I would suggest is which we select one programming language. Select one programming language. If you have a notebook or a sheet of paper, you can just note it down if you want to just go through with it. See, one programming language is very much important. We prefer either Python or R. Whatever language which you are comfortable with, please go ahead with either of these two languages when it comes to machine learning algorithms. See, what is the main intention? Like the main intention is to create some frameworks here. So I have to create some frameworks. So to create some frameworks, so for any examples which you can tell for frameworks which we have Flask as a framework, and we have Django frameworks. Okay. And also learn some basics. Okay, basics of programming languages very much important. So basics, I mean, first you will start with some programming language. So after starting with some programming language, you go with little bit more complicated things like functions in the same programming language. So functions first kalitira, next oops concept, you'll go with the oops concept. So these are some basics. This is the very first step. So selecting the programming language is the very first step when you go with your machine learning. So what is my second step? So second thing, what I found is, after learning some language, you go with some libraries. So can anybody name few libraries which are required for machine learning?
sklearn,
sklearn, good.
NLTK,
Okay.
NumPy, Pandas.
Okay. So first, the very first library which you come across here is the NumPy library. Okay. So NumPy library, we make use of NumPy to basically to understand all the data sets in different forms. We will be knowing what is importing, okay, what is indexing, and what is broadcasting. Are you able to see whatever am I writing on the board? Is it visible?
Yes, sir, visible.
Okay, fine. My handwriting is very much bad. Please bear with me. So NumPy is the very first library that we'll be using. After learning NumPy, we'll be learning another library called as Pandas. So we need to learn this particular library in depth. Okay. So in-depth knowledge of pandas is required. Why? Because pandas go with some data pre-processing. As your friend told that it is the very first step. As Chandana told that the very first step is data pre-processing. So for data pre-processing, we require the library called as pandas. So that is data pre-processing. Okay. So second, so after data pre-processing, we start understanding what is data frames, and what is data series. Okay. So what is my type of the data which is present? What is data frame and what is data series? And let's say we have about some set of data set we have, and there are some values which are missing. So to find the missing values, we make use of this library. So missing values can be easily be founded. It can be calculated. So this is my very second step. I would have made some notes regarding this and then started explaining. Since this is first class, I'll from the next subsequent class, I'll see that I'll prepare the notes first and we'll go on directly explaining. So first is we go with one programming language. Second is we select and choose one. We go with some libraries which are really required. We go with NumPy and Pandas basically. So Pandas, we go with in-depth knowledge of Pandas, where it involves data pre-processing, understanding what is actually data frames are, what is data series are, what is missing values are. So for those students who have started machine learning as of now, probably they'll be thinking like some moons and stars as of now. They'll be seeing like what are all these things. Please don't worry, we'll go with all these stuffs one by one wherever it is required. My third step now. So my third step which I have is, after learning libraries, I go with some math part, that is statistics. So statistics is one of the most important thing that we must consider. In statistics, We'll be learning about mainly about we need to know what is mean, what is median, okay, what is mode, and we have a concept called percentile, okay, percentile. Then we have a concept called IQR range, IQR range, and we have some distributions, okay. So we have some distributions. Then we have in distributions we'll be having some standard normal distribution, standard normal distributions, okay. We have if I go on listing, it makes huge. And important thing is we have central limit theorem, okay, central limit theorem. So within statistics, please find a way. I'll be coming back again and again. Please have your concentration. So in statistics, basically for to do any machine learning projects or to cope up with these stuffs, we require we need to know what is mean, median, and mode, percentile, IQR range, distributions. We have standard normal distribution, central limit theorem. Okay, we have a number of things. Next, after learning this, my fourth step is to implement statistics using libraries. Can anybody tell me what are all the libraries which we use to implement statistics? Any libraries which we make use of? We make use of library called as matplotlib. That is matplot library. We have a library called Seaborn. Okay, so this is basically for plotting, I would say, plotting the data, how your data looks like. And we also do a concept called as feature engineering. Feature engineering. So by using these two, Matplot and Seaborn, my feature engineering process will be very much easy. Okay, so this is my fourth step. Next, my fifth step. Okay, fifth step, after doing all these stuffs, I have a concept called exploratory data analysis. Exploratory data analysis. So in exploratory data analysis, also we call it as EDA. So within exploratory data analysis, why do we require this? Is first is to find how many continuous variables are present, how many continuous variables are present. Okay, next, how many discrete variables are present, discrete variables. Next, also we used to find the missing values. To do all these things in EDA, we make use of the library called as Scalar. Okay, Scalar library is an important library which deals with my exploratory data analysis. Okay, this is an important thing. So it is your fifth step. Next, I'll come back and will explain it once again. If you have any doubts with respect to this, you can just ask. Sixth step is you'll come and start understanding machine learning algorithms. Okay, you shall start understanding your machine learning algorithms. So to understand the machine learning algorithm, you need to know the basic maths first. What is the basic maths which is involved over there, and then how to implement that algorithm. And you can consider whatever the things I'm telling you now is the generalized thing. How do you implement that particular algorithm is my next thing. Next, in ML algorithms, we'll be thinking a concept of about what is hyperparameter tuning. Hyperparameter tuning. Okay. So roughly, I would say roughly, we will be studying about approximately about 20 algorithms. So 20 algorithms we have, regardless of all supervised learning, unsupervised, reinforcement, semi-supervised. Okay, mainly out of we have about totally of 20 algorithms. So out of 20 algorithms, some of the most algorithms like linear regression, okay, decision trees will be having. Okay, we'll be studying decision trees, CISION, decision trees. Next, we'll be studying what is a random forest. Okay. So in your interview, when you go to your interview, so the interviewer might ask you, which is your favorite algorithm out of all these? Okay, favorite algorithm. So he might ask you the interview process, as I have seen few interviews, virtual interviews. So they have asked, what is your favorite algorithms? Okay, if you start answering decision trees is my favorite algorithm in my machine learning model, how exactly? So the question will be asked based upon whatever answer which you tell. Okay. So after understanding all these, that is understanding the maths, implementing the algorithm, so hyperparameter tuning. Okay, after doing all this, we have a concept called not a concept, how do we deploy? That is my next step, doing the deployment. Okay, somebody can just unmute yourself and just name what are the various deployment places where we deploy. Where you deploy your machine learning projects. Yes, anybody? We have Microsoft Azure. We have Google Cloud. We have Heroku. Okay, and also we have something called as Dockers and Kubernetes. Okay, so we have all these things where our machine learning projects can be deployed. Okay, so this is my next step. So after doing all these things, I start like we will go with the concept of deep learning. Okay, this is my basic level or the in-depth level, I could say, deep learning. So in deep learning, as I said, it go with we need to learn the algorithms first. So what are all the algorithms which we are having? We are having few algorithms in deep learning. That is my ANN, that is artificial neural networks. Next we have CNN, that is convolutional neural networks, and RNN, that is recurrent neural networks. My ANN always deals with some of the data which is in the form of numbers, I would say. Okay, so numbers is the type of data. In CNN, the data will be in the form of images. In RNN, the data will be in the form of time series. So time series form of data will be present in this. So there are actually very good, super cool algorithms. Like when you start learning, we have an algorithm called YOLO algorithm. Okay, so we have a concept like transfer learning. Okay, so to learn these deep learning, we have some super cool libraries. Can anybody just list me out few libraries which are used for deep learning? Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Librosa.
I'm not able to hear you. Can you speak loudly?
Librosa.
Librosa, can you spell that?
Librosa.
Librosa. Shubha, why do we require, what is the advantage of using this library? What is the main intention?
To convert the analog data into digital.
Good. Okay, so to convert any analog data to digital data. Okay, fine. Any other libraries? Pranav? Rudresh? Have you heard about any libraries?
No, sir.
Many of you might have heard of some library called as TensorFlow. Okay, so TensorFlow is the one of the most important library. We have a library called as Keras, Theano, and PyTorch. Okay, so these are all the libraries which are which have been framed to perform your deep learning algorithms. Okay, to execute the deep learning algorithms, any projects can be made using these kinds of libraries. So this is my 8th step, learning deep learning. So after learning these algorithms, we go back to deployment actually. Okay, so we go back to deployment. Okay, so we have frameworks as I told you, frameworks. Okay, in frameworks we have frameworks like Flask, we have Django. Okay, so Flask is basically an API. Okay, is used. So using these frameworks, we go back to our deployment and we shall be learning these things. So after all these things, then I'll be worrying about how my data is being stored. So that is the database which is involved over there. Database. So database, you all know that we have, if it is a structured data, we go for SQL database. If it is an unstructured data, we can go for database like MongoDB. Okay, so unstructured data means what? It can be some images, it can be some audio. Okay, these are all the types of data. So after performing all these stuffs, my last step is I need to visualize my whole project in some kind of reports or anything. So for that, we need to have some knowledge on visualization tool. Okay, so we have some visualization tool. Have you anybody has gone through, have anybody heard about some visualization tools? You can just tell me.
Tableau.
Good. We have Power BI, we have Tableau. Any other visualization tool which you have came across? We have a visualization tool called ClickSense. So these are all the visualization tools that we have. Okay, so this is my final step, which I can tell that my project has been completely ready. So to jot down in a nutshell, we shall go back once again. So we started with this particular concept. What is the step-by-step action that we need or required to go with ML? So what is the first step? My first step is we need to select one programming language, any programming language. Preferably, we prefer Python or R as our programming language in data science. Why? Because to come up with to interact with some frameworks and basics, so basics is very much necessary in like concepts like functions and oops in Python is very much necessary. Second step, after knowing one language, we go and one step ahead, learning those libraries. We have the very first library, which is popular library. We call the library, the name of the library is NumPy. So in NumPy, we need to know how do we understand the data, how do we import the data, how do we index the data, what is broadcasting. These are all the stuffs which we'll be learning there. So after learning NumPy, we'll go with the next library called as Pandas. So Pandas we need to learn in depth. Okay, so in which it involves data, how is data pre-processing is done, what is data frames and data series will be knowing, what is missing values, how do we encounter the problem of missing values, will be knowing. After learning the libraries, my third thing is to learn statistics. See, without statistics, I think it's a little bit difficult to cope up with your project. So in statistics, we need to learn, actually there are n number of topics which are involved over there. Out of all topics, these are all the few topics which I have listed over here. What is mean, median, mode, percentile, what is IQR range, distribution. In distribution, we have standard normal distribution, we have log loss distribution, we have central limit theorem. These are all the important things in statistics which we must consider. So after learning statistic, we go with how do we implement our statistics using libraries. So we have a super cool libraries like Matplotlib and Seaborn. So Seaborn is basically a library in which we use it for plotting the data. We have a plotting called as pair plot. Okay, pair plot. We have scatter plot. Okay, we have bar plot, just a representation of the data, and we'll be knowing what is feature engineering. Okay, after learning these libraries. So after knowing this, we go with the concept of exploratory data analysis. It is the very important concept in while developing a machine learning projects. We use this EDA. Why do we use this? We use to find how many continuous variables are present, how many discrete variables are present, what is the total number of missing values, using what we make use of scalar library. So scalar library is used to perform your EDA. I hope you understood. Next, we have we need to start understanding the machine learning algorithms. To understand machine learning algorithms, so the very first thing is we need to be good at maths. Okay, so basic, I don't say that we need to be very much strong in maths, because very few people might feel like it is difficult, maths is difficult. I myself feel maths is difficult. Okay, so the thing we need to understand here is what is the ultimate aim. Why do we require maths? If there is a concept, what is the maths which is involved behind that concept? Okay, if we try to understand that, your maths part will be again easy. Again, we'll be coming across more and more equations. Okay, we'll be trying to understand more equations. Next, how do we implement this? How do we implement my algorithms is my next. How do I tune my parameters which is present already in my data? Okay, so roughly we have about 20 algorithms. So in those 20 algorithms, we have linear regression, okay, decision trees, random forest. Okay, likewise, which we have many algorithms, like depending on type of learning, whether it is supervised or unsupervised or reinforcement. Okay, we'll be going with some algorithms. So after knowing algorithms, we'll be doing the deployment. Your whole project will be deployed in one particular platform. So to deploy my project in one platform, I have my platforms such as Microsoft Azure, we have Google Cloud, and we have Heroku, and I'm having Dockers and Kubernetes. There are various platforms where you can deploy your machine learning model. So after deployment, we go with the concept of deep learning. So in deep learning, we need to know basically three algorithms. One is your ANN, CNN, and RNN. That is artificial neural network, convolutional neural network, and recurrent neural network. So basically your ANN will be consisting only the data in the form of numbers, that you must remember. So here CNN will be having the data, whatever the data which is in the form of images will be given as an input to your CNN. Your RNN deals with time series kind of data. Okay, so we have a good algorithms, the algorithm called as YOLO algorithm. Okay, it is one of the famous algorithm in transfer learning. Okay, to in deep learning. So we also have few libraries called as Librosa, TensorFlow, Keras, Theano, and PyTorch. All these libraries are used for your deep learning. So after learning this, we go back to our deployment model. We learn to go with some frameworks such as Flask and Django. Flask is an API. Then after completing this, we go with some databases. So if your data is a structured data, we'll go with SQL. If your data is semi-structured or unstructured data, we'll go with a database called Mongo database or any other unstructured database. Okay, so it can be, your data can be in the form of images or audio. Okay, so the last part which we have is what is the reports should be viewed. What is my final outcome? Your ML project will be consisting of some report. How do you generate the report? A good visualization tools will help you to generate some good reports. An example is Power BI, Tableau, and ClickSense, which we have. This is the final step. So this is all about like whatever the stuffs which I had thought to discuss in today's session. I don't know whether all these concepts has penetrated into your mind and it has become more clumsy. Just go with the concept. I shall try to share the same notes in the form of PDF, or if you have made a notes out of it, it's still fine. This is a whole view or bird's view of machine learning project which I can tell. Okay, so after this we'll be having like I'll just go with this. Okay, so I have applications where machine learning, so these are all the applications. Okay, we have speech recognition, image processing. Okay, these are all the applications which you are seeing in the screen now. There are various applications. If we start listing all the applications, next is what is your final goal? Okay, after learning all these stuffs, okay, uh, you assume, okay, I'm not telling it like you have completed all these stuffs. Few of you might have gone through few of those stuffs which we had discussed today, and few people might not have encountered any of these stuffs, which is still fine. We'll be discussing step by step in detail. And what is your final goal? So we have many students who are interested in the field or in the domain of machine learning. What is my final goal? So it is related to your job, right? It is your ultimate aim. So this is like an end-to-end how to do a project or stuff. So what is your job opportunities which you have? So either by learning machine learning or data science, you want to either you want to become a data scientist, okay, a data architect. So these are all the various job roles which we have: a data engineer, statistician, and data science manager, data science machine learning engineer, decision scientist. So these are the quite job profiles which we have, because people will be having the same mindset: if I only learn to code, then only I'll be getting the opportunities. If I know maths behind machine learning, then only I'll be getting job. If I know only these stuff, then only. No, guys, it's not like that. You, the criteria which you are assuming, or if you have any uh, assumption like thing, it's not like that. Data science is a vast area, okay. You can go ahead whatever the tools we have. Our students who are working only in with respect to visualization tools. As we said, we have Power BI and Tableau, right? So we have these visualization tools, so they are working with only visualization tools, okay. So no need to worry, like whatever the stuffs which you are comfortable with, whatever the, like, you decide where you are strong in. Then I think I hope so whatever the stuffs which we are going to encounter, it will be definitely a cakewalk for you people. So this is what, guys, for today's session, what I had planned to convey to you people. I hope so you understood. You can just unmute yourself and you can ask any doubts if you have. Please don't sit idle. Okay, any suggestions which you have, you can just go ahead with.